What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, and I'm back with another installment of Dangerous Minds. First off, let me give a huge shout out to everybody that tuned in to the episode last couple weeks. I talked about the beef with Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj, and just to update my thoughts on everything that happened after the episode, Remy Ma's Another One diss was whack. And Nicki Minaj put out recently the No Frauds joint with Drake and Lil Wayne. That one's also whack. So unless Nicki decides to drop something that, worthwhile, anything that could like go head to head with Ether, we gotta go ahead and give the W to Remy Ma. So just wipe our hands with the situation. We're done. We can all go home. Now, also like to give a shout out to the homies at Out Hustle. I'm wearing one of their apparels right now. I can give you a description on where you can find them if you really like digging the shirt. And yeah, all right, let's begin. A couple things happened to me over the past couple weeks that on first glance don't really have that much of a connection, but like I said I would explain where the connection is with these two things. First, I went to go see the Get Out movie. Now, I was really skeptical when this movie started being promoted. I saw the first trailer back in like September, and when I found out it was created by Jordan Peele, I was skeptical because he's done the Keanu movie and he's did the Key and Peele show. Key and Peele, the TV show, is okay, has its moments where it's really funny, but I wasn't really that big of a fan on it, and I really hated the Keanu movie. It was just whack to me. But I'll be the first one to say I was wrong. I was real skeptical going into this movie, but I loved it. It deserves every bit of that 100 rating that it got on Rotten Potatoes. And if you haven't seen that movie, I strongly suggest you go watch it. And another note, if you haven't seen this movie, I suggest you turn off this video, go watch it, and then come back, because I'm gonna try to explain my points without spoiling too much of the movie, but it may happen. I gave you the warning. It is what it is. And the second thing that happened was the comments that were made by Ben Carson, the neurosurgeon turned Republican, first Republican hopeful, Republican nominee hopeful in the presidential race, turned member of Donald Trump's current presidential cabinet. And when asked questions about immigration, he compared immigration to slavery. And there's a lot of things wrong with his comments, mainly that to be an immigrant, you are voluntarily and willfully going from one country to the next in search of a better life. And slaves were kidnapped, chained to the bottom of a boat, picked the fuck up, dropped off, and were positioned to work for not less but nothing. So not less, as Dr. Ben Carson put it, but for nothing. They were not even treated as people. So that in itself is dangerous, is a dangerous statement, and is historically inaccurate. But it's a lot deeper and a lot more problems in his comment that I will get to in a second. But let me do a little summary of the movie. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, the basic premise is it's a thriller, and it's about a black man dating this white woman. He goes to her parents' house to meet them. He gets up there, realizes the white people are acting extra interested in the fact that he's black, and the black people there are a little brainwashed. He doesn't notice that at first, but he just knows that something is wrong. Turns out that the mother is a hypnotist, and she hypnotizes the black people to put them in the sunken place, where the father, who is a neurosurgeon like Dr. Ben Carson, extracts a portion of their brain out and inserts a portion of another white person that's a part of this society of people that are obsessed with black genetics. And basically they take over the body, but a piece of you is still there because you're in the sunken place. You're a passenger in your own body as this new person after winning a bid for you. After winning a bid for you is in full control of your body, because they either want to be young again, and they're obsessed with the black genetics, so they want to be black and young. They're either obsessed with the way we look, the things that we can do, or special talents that we have. And this movie made me think. There's a lot of things in this movie that make you think. I have to go back and watch it again just to make sure I don't miss all of the hidden messages and and things about white supremacy's hold on black people in America, the dynamic between the man and the woman in the black community, as well as our interactions in interracial dating, our fears, as a community about interracial dating, and how that affects everybody as a whole. There's a lot of things to unpack in this movie, but the brainwashing aspect, or the brain extraction to where somebody else is taking over, that's what I want to talk about. Because when I hear things, when you first when you watch the movie, you notice that the black people in the movie, they talk a little funny, right? They are the ones that have already been hypnotized, and their body's already been taken over by a white host, and they talk a little funny, they act a little different, to where you could tell that the main character, he is comfortable when he first sees them, because he's in these room full of white people, and he's the only one, and especially because they're like kind of curiously giddy about him, and him being black. So when he sees another black person, he gets comfortable, kind of like what we do, if we're in an office building, or we're in a party or a bar or something, and we're the huge minority, like it's nothing but white people in there, and it's a white function, we get a little bit more comfortable when we see black people. But then you might get to talking to them like he did, and realize that they only are us, one of us by skin and hair texture, but everything about them is, basically a simulation of the white, aspect, I guess. I don't know. Basically, they themselves are white on the inside, but on the outside they still look like us. And that's when I see that, I think about somebody like Ben Carson. I think about somebody like Stacey Dash. Hell, some people were even making the comparison of what's happened to Kanye after marrying and being a part of the Kardashian family. And I'm not going to speculate on that. People have said that, hey, he might even be a clone. But what if he's not a clone? What if a piece of his brain has been taken out, and now a white person has got full control over who Kanye West is, and he's just in the sunken place? Like, there's a lot in this movie, and it made me think about, and then when I say this, I'm not talking about when people used to call somebody an Oreo because they spoke a certain way, or they did things that were different, like skateboarding, or listen to different types of music that were considered like white things to do. I'm not talking about that, because I feel like as a culture, we have a problem kind of accepting that somebody might do something a little bit out of the norm that majority do. But I'm talking about somebody that's completely disconnected from black people. Like, they'll actively vote against stuff that will affect, when they'll actively vote for stuff that is against the black community, or just they don't sympathize with something like Ferguson, or they side with the opposing, like the police and the governors and stuff like that. When people don't get convicted, they side with that. People that may grow up around like majority white people, and they kind of take on their mannerisms and stuff like that, to where they completely distance themselves from being black. I think about a Ben Carson. I think about the fact of the irony that a neurosurgeon may have lost his mind, figuratively and literally. So for somebody like Ben Carson, in the movie, he tries to save one of the people that have been abducted, a woman, and she tries to kill him. She's too far gone. We need to let them go. So when we try to have these conversations with somebody like Ben Carson, and we try to bring them back over to our side, I think we just need to let them go. They're too far gone. they're not even them anymore. Somebody else is taking over their body, because there's this overwhelming need to be accepted into the white fold of life by some of these people, that they will put their own people in a huge detriment. They will sacrifice themselves to make sure that massa is okay. So for somebody that has that kind of dedication and that kind of, loyalty to these people who do not have your best interest at heart, and they still treat you like shit. Because if you look at the way that things are being done in this cabinet, you see how Ben Carson is positioned opposed to the other people in his cabinet. He is not looked at as an equal member. Just like Kanye West was so quick to express his support for Donald Trump and, talk about that's my friend and stuff like that, he wasn't even invited to the inauguration. Like, the speakers even spoke about it and said that he is looked on as, he believes that he is a friend of the president. Not that we consider him a friend, but he considers himself a friend. That's how you're treated. That's how you are. And you're treated more of a sideshow. You're put out there to make us laugh, make them laugh. You're, be the black face to when you drop news or you drop certain situations. You're put out there as a pawn. You could say the same thing about the house Negro back in slave times. They were put there to kind of be the bearer of bad news, but instead of it being coming from a white person, it comes from somebody that looks just like you, so we may take it a little bit better. Stuff like that. That's what Ben Carson's role is, but he really thinks that he is a friend of the people that are around him. And when I say this, Ben Carson, fuck you. And at the same time, I wish you the best, because when shit hits the fan, you're going to look at the people that you stuck up for so much and realize that they don't give a damn about you. And I feel like that's going to be the worst part of your life. That's going to be the worst day of your life, is when you find out that these people do not give a damn about you and a damn about who you are. You're just there to play a part. And when your part has been completed and there's no use for you anymore, you are going to be thrown out with the rest of us. And at that moment, you're going to realize that you were just another nigga. So, like I said, watch the movie Get Out. Fuck you, Ben Carson. And I hope this presidency ends faster than it began. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this movie. I hope you sorry, I still got a movie in my head. I hope you like, share, and subscribe to this video and the channel. I hope you tune in the next couple weeks for the next installment of Dangerous Minds, and I'll see you soon. Also, make sure you check out the description. I will leave the links for Out Hustle and for my necklace Above Art. It's really dope, made by hand by this young lady, and it's really cool, and I really would like y'all to support her as well. Tune in next time. It's been your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, and I'm out.